Hi, listeners. Robin, how you doing, mate?
I'm not bad. Not bad. There's a wee chink of light at the end of the tunnel, isn't there?
There is
You
certainly.
know?
But
Big,
before I
big.
ask you that, Robin,
Yeah.
I've got to say one thing to you.
What?
Guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty as sin. For those of the listeners, we've been very busy the last few weeks. Very recently, I've been busy on jury duty. So that's why Mr. Ogilvy's mentioning the words, is he guilty? He was indeed guilty. So I got made lead juror as well. I don't know how that happened. I was bullied into it. Bullied into it. But anyway, it was an experience and a half. I tell you what, don't get yourself in front of a Dundee jury because they are heartless. You've got no chance. But yeah, I'm glad it's all over. So that's been part of the experience over the last week or so. And yeah, so what about yourself, Ian? What have you been getting up to?
So I've been busy designing new courses, working on projects that obviously you know about. Hopefully, we'll announce some projects in the next
Yeah.
month or two. I've been bored to tears writing a PTOP. Oh, it's a dredge and a half. But I think you'll be impressed when you see it once I've finished this one. And
Good.
other than that, I've been running lots of different pilot courses for the RLSS, and I had to do a lovely risk assessment project on some ponds in the snow. So that was an interesting one. I'm trudging up,
Brilliant.
looking at
And
ponds.
I see the videos that we put up from the online CPD. That's something that the listeners are not aware of, that we have completed that since our last podcast, which was delivered online, an online CPD seminar for pool plant tutors. Well, that's what it was advertised as. We allowed people on it who were, interested in the technical aspect of pool plant operations, quite high specification technical aspects. And it was very good. I really enjoyed it. We had Stevie Gallagher from HDH. We had Robbie Phillips doing Legionella. We had the Jedi on doing active free chlorine. And we had Jimmy Hadley, doing UV, and it was very, very well received, very great, good feedback. And we have now opened that up to all and sundry who would like a wee bit of update knowledge, CPD, call it what you like, a wee bit of learning, a wee bit of development, a wee bit of nosy into new products and about pool plant operations and water treatment. It was good. It was good. And the views, I think it's only been up for a week, not even a week.
Yeah.
And there's something like 25 views for Stevie Gallagher's HDH one. That was very good.
For those of you
So
who don't know, so I hit upon this idea, I think it was back in November. Me and Robin discussed this between ourselves. We wanted to do a CPD for pool plant tutors. The plan was originally to do it in about March time, end of February, sort of March time. But at the last minute, we decided to rush it because of the lockdown. And we'd already had the speakers in place, but it was just about agreeing a date. And it went really well because there's never really ever been a CPD that we know of just exclusively for tutors. But as Robin said, a lot of people said, look, I just want to expand my knowledge. So, yeah, by all means, we did that. It was just an afternoon, 4 speakers, roughly 45 minutes each, wasn't it, roughly?
yeah,
yeah. And we've separated them on the videos as well. So if anyone wants to have a look at them and watch them, go to pioneerpoolsolutions.co.uk and on Robin's website there. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the videos. I think you've got to click on the link for CPD Seminar 2021. I think is that right?
Yeah, I've tried to use my highly technical skills, and as soon as you click on to my website, you should get to the right page, and you scroll down to the bottom, and all 4 videos are there to view. It basically takes you on a link to our YouTube website, and allows you to watch them individually to your heart's content. You can stop and play. You can go back to it. The only thing you can't do was contribute and take part in the question and answer session. Obviously, that was exclusive for those who attended on the day. But it's still there. It's still a good wee update, knowledge, and a wee bit of development, and a wee bit of learning. So, this time last year, Ian, if you'd suggested to me that we were going to run an online seminar, then we were going to edit the videos, we were going to stick them on your YouTube channel, and we were going to access your YouTube channel through a link from my website, and we were going to do the whole thing ourselves. And I told you, aye, right, no bother, son. Yeah, yeah, pull the other one, it's got bells on it. But do you know what? We've done it,
Yeah, we are.
And it's amazing what we're managing to achieve. And we are hoping maybe on the next podcast or the podcast after that one that we will be able to announce some news with regards to some online learning that we are looking to promote and offer to the general public, the pool plant public, so to speak. So that there's some irons in the fire, and we're working very, very hard, which is why we've not had a chance to record another podcast and YouTube video. But we rest assured we are working very hard, and we have some cracking speakers lined up as well. So we will get back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that.
Do you know, Robin, one of the things I'd like to talk about with the talks was Stevie Gallagher on HTH.
Yeah.
So I took something away from that because I've seen this as a debate online. People asking about, does calcium hypochlorite actually do anything to the alkalinity of swimming pools? So when we had Stevie on, and lots of people online are like, yeah, it increases alkalinity. And HTH, which is the biggest, I'd say probably the biggest manufacturer of calcium hypochlorite in the world, not just UK, I'd probably say the world. I may be wrong, but I'd say the world. It was interesting to come from the guy that actually makes it, and he says it doesn't do a thing alkalinity.
Brilliant.
It's got, because the amount of times I see this debate, and for those of you who might use HTH and various different things, you know, one of the things in that video that got me, and it was a big learning curve for me, big learning curve for Robin, and probably quite a few others on the chat today. It showed us how it was manufactured, and I've never seen that. It showed you how the cake, the actual calcium hypochlorite cake, was manufactured, and there's a lot of good videos on there from Stevie, showing you how it was done. So that was one of the best ones I took away from that day, was some of the stuff with Stevie.
It was brilliant. You know, listen, for you and I have been on loads of seminars, and in fact, we've probably heard the guys many a time. But Stevie, to his credit, he did update his presentation, and he put in things in there that none of us had seen before, which was great. It was new. It was something a wee bit different, because we're always preaching about water treatment. We're always preaching about how things work and how to improve, the actual levels within the swimming pool. But this was stripping it back to actually, how do you manufacture calcium hypochlorite? And it was something that was really interesting, and I think it's important that people have an understanding of where their products come from, because then they can value it and they can relate to it and they can understand what goes into it. So it was really good. It was really good. All 4 presentations were fantastic. So it's maybe something that we can look at going forward. Maybe do it once a year or something, and build on it. Yeah, most definitely. So looking forward, Ian, what have you got planned?
Well, my email has been ringing off today after Boris. I've got to say the Boris is Boris actually surprised me a little bit, because leading up to it, I was personally predicting that on the 8th in England, school kids would go back, but I was thinking it would only be the GCSE A-level years and potentially primary school children going to secondary. I always expected outdoor pools to be in front of indoor pools, just like last time. So I've got a couple outdoor pools where I do some work, and it's all pending, and they were sort of on the email saying, right, let's have a little look at this. But I didn't expect him to go. I mean, obviously, I know it's all subject to vaccination and falling numbers, but I didn't expect him to go the full haul and say the 12th. So there's a little clink there.
I think we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I hope it's just it's not one of these ones where you go back to school on the Monday and you get told you're back off on the Tuesday. But I think there's a bit of chink of light there. I think the short term, I'm hoping that the short term measures actually go through as they are, because that would mean that every single swimming pool in the entire country, whether it's Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England, I think, are all going to be open by the end of April. I think, the First Minister in Scotland said today that we're all going into Tier 3 everywhere from 25th of April, which means that we can open up our swimming pools and all our leisure centres. So hopefully that comes to fruition. I think it's 10 days before that England will be able to open up all their indoor facilities as well. So, by the end of April, we should all be buzzing.
And do you know, Robin? Just as a side note, I actually had my COVID vaccination text at the weekend, so I've got my vaccination booked in as well.
Magic, so you must. That's because you fall into that old category. I'm not in yet,
Yeah. It's because I fall into the vulnerable categories, to be fair. So I'm in category 6. But if you think about it, they're fairly rattling through it. And do you know what? Really simple process. Got a text through, clicked on a link, put a date of birth in to just confirm who you are, and then all the appointments come up. You clicked on one, done, bang.
A wee shout out to North Lanarkshire Leisure there, because the leisure centres in that local authority, they're opening up as vaccination centres in March for a period of time, and with their help, they're going to be vaccinating 9,000 people a day, and so long as the supplies can get the supplies, 9,000 people a day in throughout March for North Lanarkshire, and that's with the help of the leisure centres, and the staff are coming back, or some of them are there, already working, but those that are not working, I think, are going to be volunteering to help out, because they're furloughed, so they have to volunteer to help. I don't think they can work, if you know what I mean, just with the way the furlough works. So brilliant. We shout out to all the leisure centres out there that are helping, because I know there's a lot of them up and down the country that are helping with the vaccination process. So long may it continue, and hopefully by kind of July, leisure centres are actually back to fully normal, no social distancing, and they're not having to help out with the vaccination process, because we're basically done by then. Maybe by the end of July or August or something, that would be great. But we'll need to see. Listen, we've had to wait long enough. It's a lot. This time last year we were told that it could be 2 years. We're now near the end, and hopefully we can get people back into swimming pools and help their mental well-being and their physical well-being, and help get our numbers up and people into our facilities, isn't it? We're getting there. We're getting there.
Should we talk about the resources hub that I put together?
Absolutely. Stick it in.
Yeah. So a lot of you probably started doing virtual training, blended training, online training, remote training, whatever you want to call it. Obviously not the face-to-face stuff. And some of you may have not had an opportunity to complete your course. So I was working on this most of last week, putting it together. A lot of you will be used to seeing the kids on Google Classroom nowadays. Yeah, Robin's nodding his head. He's sort of had enough of the old Google Classroom. So I've actually put together Google Classroom, Robin, for Pool Plant Resources Hub, I've called it.
Yeah, brilliant.
All it is simply a hub of quizzes, YouTube videos, other resources, material, whatever you want to call it, to try and keep your knowledge up to date. Now, it doesn't matter if you're currently doing a pool plant course or not doing a pool plant course. There's probably about 20, 25 things in there so far for anyone just to go online, have a look at the hub, attempt the quiz. You haven't seen the quizzes yet, I don't think.
No.
I annoyed someone the other day, so I got someone to test it, and there's a what item is this? So one of the quizzes is 10 pictures of different items around the plant room, and you've got to say what the item is. And I annoyed a friend of mine because there was a specific item he's never come across, and he couldn't get it right. And, so he didn't like it.
I'll take a wee look at that.
You'd get it straight away, but it annoyed him that he'd never seen one of these, and he'd never get a chance to do it. But one of the things is a bit of a challenge here, and I've pitched it at a candidate level. I've not pitched it at a tutor level. Is pool? It's just a quiz called Pool Chemicals. What's it for? What's this chemical do? What's that chemical do? because it's one of the areas that we're finding in the virtual that maybe people are struggling a little bit because they're not face to face in the classroom where we can start talking about other stuff. So I don't know quite. It's probably going to go out on the Facebook page with a connection link into it just now. It's free of charge anyway, so I'm not really bothered. The plan is never to charge for it. It was just more about getting our industry better, pulling it along, better water quality, safer pools. That's about it really. So that hub's probably going to go live in the next day or two when this broadcast goes out.
Brilliant. Lots to look forward to. I've got a couple of things coming up as well. I'm doing a wee audit on Northern Ireland on Thursday, and then I'm going in to help write a swimming pool technical operations manual on the Friday. So nice wee bit of business there. Nice wee bit of work to get my teeth into over the next few days. But I'll tell you where I was. I was in a swimming pool that suffered some flood damage. You may know it.
I know it.
I've got some very good photos of the internals of filters, and if I can seek maybe some permission, I might be able to share one or two. I'll maybe not be able to highlight where they're from, but I might be able to put the photos on the Facebook page and show people internals of filters. It's not often we can get an opportunity to go in and see a facility and see the actual internals of things, because obviously everything's been used, but this particular pool's had flood damage, so they're getting a wee bit of work done, a wee bit of they're getting things stripped out and then they're going to get replaced. So I've had the opportunity to have a wee look at bits and pieces before they get truly taken out or truly refurbished. So that might be of interest to the listeners. And over the coming weeks, I may be doing an entrapment test. So
this is the one. This is the one that interested me, Robin. It's a shame I can't get up north, because I'd love to come up and do this with you, because it's such a once in a blue moon thing you would be asked to do.
It is. Do you know what? In all honesty, we should be doing this a lot more. But we never get opportunities to, because you've got to do it when the pool's shut, It's a bit like the dye test, and we are all supposed to have done it, all facilities, but we never get round to it. It's one of those things where it's never questioned unless something goes wrong with your circulation. And it's crucial. It's a crucial indicator. The entrapment test is massive in terms of safety of the bather. So I've been through all the old Jill Franks procedures, the Pewtag procedures. Ralph Riley's even given me some very, very good information. So I'm going to have to get the speedos on, and I'm going to have to get the wig out. I'm going to have to get the dynometer out, get it all done. And I'm going to try and film the whole thing, a wee bit of underwater filming as well as above water filming. So I better get in the gym for the next couple of weeks or something first, won't I? But it should be very interesting, Ian. There's a wee bit of apprehension, because I know what to do. It's just one of those things that you've just not done it, before. I think I've done a test on a site that I worked at 30 years ago, or 25 years ago, but it was just one of those things where we just checked it out, and we always do things like this I know you've done it this way, and Colin Jenkinson has also done it this way, myself, where we just get a float and we put it over, and if the float sticks, it's a problem. If it doesn't stick, it's no problem. But there's actually specific standards that we need to meet when we do it according to Pewtag. So I'm going to do the whole 9 yards and get it done properly. So it'll be interesting. So it might be something that we can share. Maybe something that the listeners are interested in and want to pursue. So Ian and I'll do our best to try and use our technical expertise again and put things on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel and discuss things in the podcast that may help the listeners.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's I think it's certainly something, if we can get a video off of it, because purely a lot of people might not have heard of it. Certainly, definitely not seen it. Yeah. It's been quite a few years since I've seen it done. funnily enough, I was talking to people today about turbidity testing when they used to use the old upside down periscope and the white dot to judge how much coagulant they were going to put into it. Sort of a dying art almost. So I think a lot of this stuff needs to get out there to try and help our pool water quality and sort of move the thing forward. I've got a few interesting projects coming up though, mate, possibly.
Yeah, good.
So there's a project where I'm maybe going to get involved, and it's just obviously a pipe dream at this point on a 50-meter pool build.
Brilliant.
Not too far from where I live.
Design and build.
Yeah, possibly. I could be in at the ground level.
Wow.
Interestingly, they've said they want it to be the most eco-friendly sort of thing they can. So I'm getting to, because I'm quite passionate about saving energy because I'm tight in Scotland. But I might get a bit of a jaunt at putting as much in as possible.
That's brilliant, big guy. You need to keep us posted with that. You could do a wee kind of route map, a wee journey of how that went. And in terms of the low carbon stuff, that's huge. And I genuinely think come after August this year, climate change is going to be one of the topics that you and I and the rest of the industry are going to be talking about significantly come the end of this. Well, when COVID dies down, I don't know if COVID will go away, but when it dies down, I think we'll be talking about climate change a lot more. And if you've got a wee project, well, a big project on your hands where you're being encouraged to go green, all the better.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, I mean, that's really been about it, because I think we've been busy with, I've been busy with the house doing loads of decorating and stuff anyway. So that's sort of a side story, that one. But sort of busy with projects, busy with the CPD, and then it's just been an absolute nightmare. But my email has went crazy today.
Yeah.
So on the prospects of this lot opening back up, so I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah,
good. Okay, big guy, I'll probably need to shoot off there. We've teased the listeners with a lot of what we're going to be doing. Please do go onto the YouTube channel and view the 4 seminar videos. Keep checking the website for other things. I'm working on things with the website. Keep checking the YouTube channel for other things as well, because Ian's putting things on. So we are trying to keep in touch with our listeners and our subscribers and give you lots of wee tidbits and things that are of added value, so to speak, and help you maintain your swimming pools. And hopefully you're working on getting them open soon.
Yeah, if you join the Facebook page, by all means. Some of you may have had fun the other day when I posted the pictures of the sponge filter material, the fibre filter material. Robin's got a wry smile on his face. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, brilliant. Anyway, it's goodbye from me.
And a definite goodbye from me. And we'll speak to you soon, guys.